Hakeem Olufemi Gbajabiamila. God bless you all.
This is the time, despite whatever disappointments we may each feel, to reject considerations of partisan and other interests.
Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila cautions lawmakers against unguarded utterances during and after the general elections.
So I need to congratulate them because these are eggheads that are coming to National Assembly in 10th Assembly.
And lawmaker takes poll defeat in good faith, congratulates others. It's good to be with you again on another fresh package of House Tickets in bringing you a summary of activities of the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. I am your anchor, Dihelia Mamza. This week's package focuses on the proceedings during plenary when lawmakers reconvened from the break they took to allow them to partake fully in the 2023 presidential and National Assembly elections. We shall therefore bring you highlights of events of what transpired during plenary of Tuesday, 28th of February and Wednesday, 1st of March 2023. The program concludes with an interview with the Chief Whip of the Ninth House, Lawmaker Mohammed Tahir Monguno, where he spoke on a whole range of issues. Join me after the break for details. Keep watching.
The entire purpose of the legislative agenda is to direct our legislative resources and efforts in a coordinated effort to ensure the well-being of the individual in a life of safety and freedom. That is a high ambition, but it's well worth the effort. We have passed landmark legislation to fix our oil and gas industry, reform the police, and reorganize the corporate administration system in our country. We have considered and passed meaningful legislation that impacts all areas of our national life.
Thank you for staying tuned. Speaker of the Ninth House, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, welcomed his colleagues back to the chamber on the 28th of February 2023 after the 2023 presidential and National Assembly elections. The Speaker commented generally on the 2023 presidential and National Assembly elections, speaking on the new Electoral Act and its implications on the just concluded elections.
Elections in a multi-ethnic, multi-religious, and multi-party democracy too often devolve into fault lines, generating abundant conflict and controversy. The test of an advanced democracy is the ability to manage grievances and settle disagreements without causing fatal damage to the body politic. The Constitution of our Republic and the Electoral Act that governs elections in Nigeria both define a framework of post-election dispute resolution and adjudication. This framework exists to protect the integrity of our elections.
The Speaker charged his colleagues to avoid actions or utterances that set the stage for interventions that could be fatal to the nation's democracy and the gains they have made over the last 2 decades.
This is the time, despite whatever disappointments we may each feel, to reject considerations of partisan and other interests to come together and make sure, first, that our country survives and our imperfect democracy continues its march towards progress and a more perfect union. This is the time for political, social, religious, and economic leaders across the nation to work steadfastly together towards the ends of law and due process. I am confident we will rise above the worst expectations others may have of us in this defining moment. We will resist malign actors seeking to exploit this moment of tension for their own ends. We will defeat the cynicism of those waiting to see their worst predictions for our country become real. Nigeria will be at peace because we will work through the law and due process to resolve differences, settle disputes, and ensure the peaceful transition of power.
Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila reminded his colleagues that work in the House continues even as they count down to the end of their term in the 9th Assembly.
We will continue reviewing legislative actions, interventions, successes, and failures relating to the implementation of the 9th House of Representatives legislative agenda. As I said, then, this is the basis of our report card to the Nigerian people at the end of our term. But just as importantly, it will allow us to better understand where we succeeded and where we didn't as a guide for the future.
Representative Nicholas Osai congratulated the Speaker, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, on his re-election as well as other lawmakers that emerged victorious during the Presidential and National Assembly elections that was held on the 25th of February 2023.
It is not easy to win first, second, third, up to sixth election. So I need to congratulate you and all, including the Deputy Speaker, who have shown that it's a rock in plateau. So we congratulate you, our Deputy Speaker. It shows that people are happy with the work. And most importantly, Waloke, very strong in Oshun, as you just said. And when you talk of Nat'l, a first-timer, did a lot, and today the people appreciate his work. I think it shows that Jimmy Benson has done very well in Lagos, including Maki and Are. So I need to congratulate them because these are eggheads that are coming to National Assembly in 10th Assembly. And for those of us, we offer our advice always and probably be consultants.
It appears we have a lot of casualties, but again, that is democracy, and we'll just keep pushing through until we get it right. I believe that what is most important is a peaceful transition.
With that, the House settled down on business for the week. Stay tuned for a summary of what transpired during plenary on the 28th of February and the 1st of March 2023 to find out what motions or bills were entertained and what resolutions were taken on them. Don't go away.
On Tuesday, the 28th of February 2023, two bills were presented for first reading, namely National Food Safety Bill 2023, a Senate bill, and Council for Christian Education Establishment Bill 2023, sponsored by Representative Rimande Shaulu alongside four others.
Distinguished colleagues,
Still on that same Tuesday, Representative Nnoli Nnaji moved a motion for the consolidation of two similar bills, namely a bill for an act to amend the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act Cap N30 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to confer additional responsibility of the power to grant and revoke licenses for the cultivation of cannabis or any of its three species, namely Cannabis sativa, Cannabis indica, and Cannabis ruderalis plant for medicinal purpose and for related matters, sponsored by Representative Benjamin Okeze Kalu, and a bill for an act to amend the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act Cap N30 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and for related matters, sponsored by Representative Olumide Babatunde.
distinguished colleagues, I rise to move that the two bills should be consolidated. I so move.
The bills were consolidated and the Committee on Rules and Business was asked to schedule for commencement of debate on the bill.
Respected colleagues,
On Wednesday, the 1st of March 2023, plenary was presided over by the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Ahmed Idris Wase. Representative Wase announced the retirement and last day in office of Mr. Fatai Jimo Olanrewaju, Deputy Clerk, Legislative. On behalf of the leadership of the House and National Assembly Service Commission, the Deputy Speaker appreciated him for his high sense of commitment to duty, diligence, and perseverance in the service of the fatherland, while wishing him well and God's guidance in the next phase of his life. Moving on, Representative Nicholas Osai moved a motion for the second reading of a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the Nigerian Solid Minerals Community Development Commission and for related matters. In leading the debate, Representative Osai said the bill seeks to cure the lapses essential in the solid mineral resources subsector, in addition to addressing the challenges facing host communities of solid mineral resources. The bill enjoyed the support of lawmakers.
Solid minerals is part of the untapped resources we have in this country and is lying untapped in so many communities. I think this bill will enhance the support to those communities. I think solid minerals are almost in each nook and cranny of this country. But maybe with this bill, the communities of those areas will be supported like it was done to partake, the NDDC, and other areas of our resources.
As at the moment, most of those who mine the mineral resources give stipends, whatever they think is what they give to the host communities. This bill will streamline and what comes to the communities and then put a minimum of what gets to them so that development can come around those communities.
This bill came at the right time, particularly when I look at the activities of miners in my own constituency, Nat'l Toto. In Nat'l local government, Mr. Speaker, today, going to what they call the development area in more particular, you have thousands of illegal miners, or call them illegal miners, going about mining. A lot of farmers lose their farmlands. It gives them a very difficult task to cultivate. With this bill, Mr. Speaker, I believe that my people, my farmers in my constituency, they have something to lay their hands on.
Today, you find that in so many mineral exploration communities, you have insecurity, you have poverty, you have lack of development. And why? Their commonwealth is being carted away under their feet without any law protecting them. What this bill, I believe, will cure is to give a sense of ownership and responsibility to the population and the citizens where these minerals are found.
Up until now, as it is elsewhere in this country, you have mining going on unstructured. It's just wide open field for even foreigners to come in here and do whatever they will. I've read, and I'm sure you have heard, of situations where on these mining fields, helicopters come in there, drop things for people and take things away. Just like somebody said, under our feet, under our nose, these things are being stolen. I believe with this commission being established and properly structured by this House and the National Assembly, we would have been able to stop one of the leakages in our economy.
The bill was read a second time and referred to the Committee of the Whole. On the same day, the House in the Committee of the Whole considered one report. It was presented by the House Majority Leader Peter Akpatasen for consideration of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act to establish the Federal Medical Center, Daura, Katsina State, and for related matters. The House voted and approved clauses 1 to 3, after which it reverted to plenary and adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole. Following these proceedings, plenary was adjourned to Tuesday, March 14, 2023. In closing, the Deputy Speaker, Ahmed Idris Wasi, thanked the Independent National Electoral Commission for a job well done and Nigerians for performing their civic responsibility by participating in the election. Representative Wasi also congratulated and prayed for the President-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while urging Nigerians and the aggrieved candidates to remain law-abiding and seek redress through legal means if and when the need arises.
I want to appreciate every Nigerian who is truly for democracy and who is supporting democracy, for the calmness, show of love, and to congratulate our brother, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for winning the presidential
And it's my sincere prayer. It's my sincere prayer. And I believe we as Democrats, we are happy with the turn of events. Thank you very much.
Glad to know you're still tuned to House Tickets, showing on the NTA Parliament every week. We have been reviewing bills as well as other national matters that came up on the floor of the House during the week under review. Like I mentioned earlier, House Ticket had a chat with the Chief Whip of the 9th House of Representatives, Lawmaker Mohammed Tahir Monguno, in his capacity as the Chief Whip, where he spoke on a range of issues. As one of the principals of the 9th House, who has the responsibility of ensuring quorum is formed, vote counts, amongst others, the Chief Whip told us how challenging and successful it has been so far.
You are given the responsibility of taking care of the conduct of your colleagues who are co-equals to you. You are only a leader amongst equals. So it is challenging in the sense that it is sometimes very difficult to bring to order your colleagues and your friends, and whom you are enjoying that leadership position as a result of their own mandate. So it's challenging sometimes to bring them to order and then to bring them to decorum in the conduct of the proceedings of the House. But the beauty of the whole matter is that particularly the 9th House of Representatives, I appreciate the conduct and behavior of members in the conduct of the proceedings of the House. It is not as challenging as such because members have given me absolute cooperation in their behavior and their conduct during the proceedings of the House.
Lawmaker Mohammed Tahir Monguno also spoke on the 35 bills that have so far met requirements of the Constitution Amendment, which is set to be transmitted to President Muhammadu Buhari for his assent.
The 35 bills that have been transmitted to Mr. President for assent are bills that are very important and germane towards deepening the practice of our democracy and also putting on a very solid ground some of our institutions in order to perform their constitutional and statutory mandate very well, to discharge their functions very well. And it's not all the bills that were transmitted to the State House of Assembly that are seen the light of the day, but the 35 bills, among the 35 bills is the issues of the autonomy of the legislature at the state level, autonomy of the state judiciary with regard to their funding and what have you. These are bills that are very, very germane towards deepening the practice of democracy, and then issues of bringing some issues, bringing them out from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list to bring about the concept of true federalism as enshrined in our Constitution, to bring governance more to the doorstep of the people through the devolution of powers.
The lawmaker speaks further on the remaining 9 states that have not given their inputs on the Constitution amendments.
This is democracy for you. The minority will have their say, while the majority will have their way. So the remaining 9 states, based on their wisdom, they refuse to pass these bills based on their wisdom, and they are entitled to their opinion.
As the ninth house gradually winds down, the chief whip had this to say about his major achievements, first as a lawmaker as well as the chief whip.
My achievement, personally, I sponsored a lot of bills to the extent that I was acclaimed as the second highest sponsor of bills in the House after Honorable Abbas Tajuddin from Kaduna State, who is the highest sponsor of bills. So the fact that I am widely acclaimed as the second highest sponsor of bills is a kudos. I deserve a pat on the back for that. So that means I'm always off on my toes towards delivering or performing my primary function that I was sent here to do, and that is of lawmaking.
Speaking on the journey of the ninth house, Lawmaker Mohammed Tahir Monguno also had this to say about it.
This house has achieved tremendously in the sense that the petroleum industry bill that has eluded all previous assemblies was passed by the 9th House of Representatives and indeed the 9th National Assembly. For that, the 9th National Assembly and particularly the House of Representatives deserves a pat on the back. And also the sustenance of the January to December budget cycle for the purpose of execution of the budgetary provisions to bring dividends of democracy to the doorsteps of the people, that has been sustained by the 9th House of Representatives. For that also the House deserves a pat on the back. And for example, the finance bill that seeks to broaden the tax net to bring more Nigerians that are ordinarily not on the tax net to the tax net for increasing revenue, and series of motions that were passed by the House, for example, with regard to security.
The chief whip has a message for Nigerians as well as the political class in this electioneering period.
My message for the political class is that they should not take election as a do or die affair. There should be magnanimity in victory and gallantry in defeat. They should always allow the will of the people to prevail. They should play the game according to its rule. They should not take it as a do or die affair. The voice of the people is the voice of God. So they should allow the will of the people to prevail. And to Nigerians, I will implore Nigerians to come out en masse and exercise their right of franchise, because that is the opportunity for them to vote out bad governance and bring in good governance.
Lawmaker Mohammed Tahir Monguno, in an exclusive interview with House Ticket in his capacity as the chief whip of the 9th House of Representatives. He represents the good people of Monguno, Marte, Ganzai Federal Constituency of Borno State, northeast of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He is fondly called MT Monguno amongst his constituents. This is the much we can take on this package of the program. Hoping you've been educated on the workings of the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Until we meet again next time, do follow the program on our social media platforms showing on your screen. Don't forget to send in your feedback through questions, comments and observations on the workings of the legislature. Just as we want you to share with us videos of any project or program in your community through the various constituency outreach programs facilitated by your representatives in the House. Thank you for watching. See you next week.